Hello and welcome. Welcome to the Little Likac Podcast, episode 85. My name is Amanda and I'm coming to you from Derby in the United Kingdom. This is a knitting and a little bit of crochet podcast where I tell you all about all the things that I am making, have made, planning to make, etc. So today I'm going to do the winner for the giveaway for the Socksy and You Know It Make Along November month. So I'll explain about that in a minute because I'm going to do that first. So I'm going to be sorting the prize or sending off that prize to that winner. I've got one finished object to show you, some progress on some whips, new cast on, and if you'll bear with me as well, I have got some things I'd really like to show you that are going to be coming new into Little Likac as well, but I'll do that bit at the end. So if you're not interested in that, I will let you know when that bit's coming up. Okay, so yeah, I'm going to start with the winner of the make along for November. So this is the Socksy and You Know It make along, a year-long make along that I ran last year in 2024, and we are doing it all over again for 2025. But basically, why am I drawing this now when it's November? That's because for each month you actually have 2 months to enter your socks. I just suddenly looked confused and went to double check because I suddenly thought, oh, was the last podcast I did at the beginning of January, have I already drawn the November winner? And I haven't. I just went back to double check that. Right, so as I say then, so the November thread on Ravelry stays open till the end of December. And then the December thread stays open to the end of January, etc. So you have 2 months to actually finish your pair of socks. So the socks that we're going to be drawing from, or the thread that we're going to be drawing from, they should have been started in November, but they could have been finished at any point up to the end of December. So I shut off the thread then on the 31st of December. If you want to join in with the make along, then the preference is please that you enter these on the Ravelry thread. If though you can't use Ravelry, then please email me at littlelikac@gmail.com. Now, I don't always reply very quickly to those emails, simply because I reply to them when I know I've caught up and actually put it into the Ravelry thread. So if you don't hear back from me and it goes past that entry date, then please do send me another email or whatever. That has happened once before where I realised I'd missed one and then I entered that entry into the next month. So don't be surprised if you don't hear back from me for a few weeks, because I kind of do it on sort of like an admin day. I then go back through and reply to them, save the photos, add them into the Ravelry thread, and I kind of do that in one sort of lump towards the end of the month, because that's just the way I have to compartmentalise things. I am a very busy person. There's so much going on in my life at the moment, and so yeah, I kind of block an hour or so where I go through all the Socksy and You Know It stuff. So I did that at the end of December, made sure then that any emails or Instagram messages I had made sure I'd taken a picture, put those into the Ravelry thread, closed it off at the end of December. So the November, where have I just put my phone? The November thread, I think it had 60. Let me just double check. I just literally was on it a second ago, double checking that. Yeah, 50. Okay, so I'm going to ask my smart speaker to choose a number between 1 and 50. If it is a UK winner, then I will be sending them this ball of yarn. And if it is an international winner, they can choose a sock pattern of up to £7.50, and I will get that to them either through Ravelry, or if it's from a different website they let me know, I'll find a way of purchasing it and getting it sent to you. Alright, so pick a number between 1 and 50.
Here's a number between 1 and 50. It's 24.
Right, thank you. Let's find 24. 24. Ooh. That is Witty Lulu, and look at that lovely pair of socks. I wonder if I can see what yarn it is. It's a Arne and Carlos design one. Right, let's just have a quick look as well to see if I can see if Witty Lulu is in the UK. She is. Okay, fabulous. So, Witty Lulu, all right, if you get in touch with me, send me an email or message me on Instagram. Again, probably email is better. I do try and keep my admin stuff onto email. I will be popping that in the post to you. This is Wendy Rome Fusion 4-ply, great for socks. And the colourway More, which is shade 2034. And I bought this from my local yarn store a couple of years ago, I think. 75% wool. So yeah, we will be getting that out to you once you get in touch with me and let me have your address. Right, so if you want to join in with the Socksy and You Know It Make Along, you are not too late. If you've got a pair of socks that you started in December, you can still go into Ravelry and add it into the December thread when it's finished. And if you cast on a pair of socks in January, then obviously you can post that in the January thread, and you will have right up until the end of February to do that. Right, so the first finished object that I have got to show you today is actually my socks for the Socksy and You Know It Make Along. And this was actually also one of my 12 cast-ons of Christmas, and it was the one for New Year's Day, the 1st of January. And in that video, you'll actually see me opening up my package, because what I did is back in November, I picked out 12 balls of sock yarn and wrapped them up in Christmas paper and put them into a box, put numbers on them, 1 to 12, or actually I got my husband to put the numbers on, so I didn't know which was what. And then the first of each month I pull it out and open it, and kind of it's like a little present to me. So here is the first finished object for 2025, and I'll hold them up on that side. It is these amazing socks. These are sparkly. Yay, we love a bit of sparkle, don't we? You can see my stitch marker, progress keeper, is the number 9, because this was actually cast on number 9 in the 12 days of Christmas. And they are made from, or the yarn is from Dragon Hill Studio yarn, and I bought the yarn at a yarn show in Yarndale just last year, 2024. So this yarn had not been in my stash for very long. The colourway is Purple Sparkling Broccoli, which I just love the name of that. And it's just, they're just fabulous. Absolutely love them. But I won't be allowed to wear them until 2026 because I'm going to do the same as I did last year. And each pair that I knit for the sock along, they are going to be put away into a box and collected up. So I've got all 12 all together. And then, I don't get to wear any of them until next year. But that's okay, because this year I have got all the socks that I made from last year, so I've been really enjoying putting on some lovely new socks. I've only worn about 3 pairs of them so far. If you can hear a weird noise in the background, you might see I'm filming from a different location, and I'll explain why in a little bit. But my daughter's gerbil is in a cage, well, a tank thing over there. And this gerbil is usually asleep during the day. But no, he's decided he's going to come out, perhaps because he can hear me talking, he's going to come out and chew on the cardboard tube, etc. So if you're wearing headphones, I suspect it might be quite obvious to hear. Hopefully it will stop in a bit. I am so sorry. Anyway, what else can I tell you about these socks? So they're knitted on 2.5mm needles, 60 stitches, vanilla pattern. So I always do about 10-12 rows of rib, and then about 6 inches of leg, heel flap and gusset, slip stitches, my favourite type of heel, can do it with my eyes closed, don't have to look anything up, and then all the way down to a rounded toe. Now last year I used contrast and colour for heels, toes and cuffs for them all. Not doing that this year, so that this year I get the maximum amount out of my 100-gram ball. So that was the first finished object. I only finished them, when did I finish them? I was supposed to finish them about a week ago, to be fair. They took a little bit longer than I would have liked, partly because I ended up casting on more socks, which I'll explain about in a minute. So I kind of have worked on the 3 pairs of socks I've got on the go. I've been working on them all sort of like a relatively equal amount. So yes, anyway, They are lovely. That is the first knitted item, finished object for 2025, and I don't know what else to tell you about them. What I will tell you though is that they are on some new sock blockers, and I'm going to tell you about those a little bit later as well. Oh, honestly, Bert, can you stop making so much noise? Right, so the other two, let me tell you about the other two pairs of socks that I've been working on furiously. If you are a regular follower of the podcast, and thank you so much if you are, then you will know that I had a lot of socks, knitted a lot of socks last year, 25 pairs. And at the end of the year, I was on a mission because I knitted a pair for Christmas, I knitted a pair for my daughter, a pair for my husband, and a pair for my other daughter's boyfriend, as well as my December socks. So I was like rushing through all of these socks in December, and then I said, I'm not going to knit so many socks this year, or next year, 2025. Obviously I'm still going to do the socks and you know it knit along, but other than that I'm not going to put any pressure on myself to knit very many more socks. However, my daughter's boyfriend loved the socks I knitted him for Christmas, so much so that he even sent me a text message after he'd worn them to work the first time saying how great they were, how much he loves them. He's told my daughter, his girlfriend, numerous times how much he likes them. His feet don't get too hot and sweaty but they stay warm, his feet don't smell, all this sort of stuff. And yeah, he basically hinted he wanted another pair of socks, and I was like, okay, I can do that for his birthday. And then I was like, when is his birthday? Oh yeah, January. It was actually his birthday about a week or so ago, but I will see him next weekend of, what is that, about the 25th, because he's coming up for my daughter's birthday. He will be, they'll both be here and staying here for that weekend. So I was like, right, okay, so I need to get him a second pair of socks finished by the time he comes to visit. And the trouble is, I did knit these I knitted him quite a large pair of socks because he said he wanted to wear them over normal socks. Turns out he hasn't, he's just worn them just next to his feet, but he said that the fitting of them is perfect. I was like, okay. So that's 72 stitches on 2.5mm needles, and he's about a size 10.5 foot. So this is how much I have got done. I have got a whole completed first one. Let me just get another sock blocker. Let me put this on another sock blocker to show you. Now this is a very large sock, so this sock blocker actually probably isn't big enough because this is larger than I would normally knit a sock, but apparently he's got big feet. And that's all the yarn I still need to cut off and sew in the ends there. Alright, so there we go. There is finished sock number 1. I can take off that progress keeper actually. That was just to mark the middle of the heel or the middle of the toe. So this yarn is an opal yarn. So I chose to knit his socks in commercial yarn so that they're quite hard wearing, especially if he's going to be wearing them in work boots. They look really good though, don't they? And this is Opal Fascination. They've always got cute pictures on, haven't they? We've got a little sheep and a dog on there. So the colourway is 11032. The colourway name is Übernachtung auf der Heide. Should I see if the smart speaker can translate that? Übernachtung auf...
I can no longer translate conversations. To translate a phrase, say how do you say hello in Spanish?
So, how do you say Übernachtung auf der Heide in English?
What would you like me to translate to English?
Übernachtung auf der Heide.
I don't know that one.
Alright, I'll Google it, and if I can find out the answer, I'll put it down here. Anyway, but it's colourway 11032. Should I just pause this and see if I can find it? Hang on. Right, I finally got it. Okay, let's get it to say it again.
Spend the night on the heath.
Spend the night on the heath. That's what it means. Okay, that's quite cool. Spend the night on the heath. Right, anyway, so I've got the whole of the first sock finished, and I've almost finished the leg on the second sock. Yay! That's what that marker is for. That marker there is for on here. I can see where I've got up to. I'm just about here on the leg of the second one. So I will be doing the heel flap this evening. So I have got till Friday to get this finished. Today it is Sunday, the 20th of January. Why do progress keepers and things always get stuck when you're filming something? So let me just put the progress keeper here. Although to be fair, you won't get to see this as a finished object other than a photograph next time, because I've got to get this finished by Friday and I will be filming the podcast after that. So the best I will be able to do is show you a picture of them as finished object next time. So yeah, I'm on a mission to get that finished by Friday or before Friday. So I really need to get it finished Thursday night so that I can give them to him when he comes on Friday. But it is lovely to know that the socks are appreciated. As I say, he messaged me directly and said, I wore the socks to work today, they were great, I absolutely loved them. So when you know they're going to be appreciated. But having said that, my husband also said to me the other day, have you noticed I've been wearing my hand knit socks all the time at the moment? I said, yes, I had noticed. He said, yeah, I really like hand knit socks this time of year. I said, okay, good. He said, I need more socks. I said, okay. So yeah, the plan of not knitting too many pairs of socks this year, that's not going too great at the moment. Because I also have a third pair of socks on the needles, and if you watch the 12 cast ons you will have seen this was cast on number 12, and these are the Stormseeker socks by Menzies, and I'm doing these for two reasons, well, lots of reasons, but it's a beautiful pattern which I have knitted previously. Kelly is doing a make along for her Cozy Toes knitted sock knit along, and each month, well, she's just changed it now, she's going to do it every 2 months. So every 2 months she is not releasing a pattern. Every 2 months she is discounting one of her sock patterns by 50%, and then we have a make along, or she has a make along for knitting that sock. So her first one was Stormseeker socks, and I had that pattern already, and I thought that's a really nice sock, I wouldn't mind knitting those again. And I'd also got this yarn in my stash that had been sitting in the stash for quite a long time, that I've been promising that I would use this yarn to make a pair of socks for the Flower Power Fund, which is the Marie Curie Hospice Challenge. There is a knitter, she is Sherlock Knits on Instagram, and she has a mission every year to collect about 230 pairs of socks that she then makes sure every patient in a Marie Curie, which is a cancer charity, every patient in a Marie Curie hospice over Christmas receives a pair of hand knitted socks. And so I'm knitting these in a large size. I have that finished, the first sock, yay, go me. So I'm knitting them quite large, which I guess also if somebody was going through treatment and maybe they had swollen ankles, swollen feet, cold feet, etc., having them quite thick, quite big, may not be a bad thing. So I'm knitting them in a large size, got the first one finished. It will look really good as well when it's been blocked out properly, but you can see. It's called Stormseeker, and these are like lightning bolts. So yeah, got the first sock finished. I've put that to one side now while I focus on getting Ben's second sock finished, and then I'm hoping I will get the second sock for this finished by end of January. Now if I don't, it's not the end of the world, because as I say, Kelly has now extended the make along so that you have 2 months, so you've got till the end of February. Having said that, I also want to enter these into another socks make along, which is one being run by Socksy Nana, and what has she called it, just Socks Along 2025. So I guess actually I could enter all 3 pairs of socks, in her sock along, so I would like to get this one, this pair finished as well if I can. And yeah, because also then that will be 3 pairs of socks done out of the way, and I'm hoping in February I won't knit so many. Well, February though, there will be 2 pairs of socks, but hopefully not 3. I'll show you later on the other sock that I'm going to be knitting. So I'm knitting these on 2.5mm needles as well, and I think I am knitting the large adult size. So that the yarn is from Truly Hooked, and it is her standard sock yarn, 75/25 base, and the colourway is Fizzbanger or Fizzbanger. Okay, another new sock blocker. So that was number 12, cast on number 12 of my 12 Days of Christmas. So pop that back in its bag. So that's all 3 pairs of socks on the needles, and hopefully we'll be off the needles soon. The other 2 projects I've been working on a lot over the last couple of weeks are also new cast ons that I did in the 12 cast ons at Christmas. So this was cast on number 2, and it's a commercial pattern for this vest top, and this was one of the projects that I asked you guys to vote on back in November, and you picked this one for me to do, and I made really good progress on it on Christmas Day, which is when I first cast it on, and I got quite a lot of the back done. I should have the progress keeper so I can show you where I've got to. Yeah, so on Christmas Day I had got all the way up to shaping the armholes. However, so then I carried on knitting it, and I got nearly all the way to finishing the back when I realised that the armhole shaping I had done was wrong. I had done the armhole shaping for the other pattern. You can see there is a sweater pattern on here as well. And the armhole shaping was quite different to the waistcoat, and I was like, oh. So I had to rip it back, pretty much all the way back to there. But as you can see, I've got the whole of the back done, and that is just plain stocking stitch. Then I've got the first front done. This was a bit fiddly, trying to keep the lace pattern correct and do the armhole shaping and things. Again, I had a couple of times where I had to rip it back, but here you can see though. So this is the left front, I believe, yes. It's the left front done. And then I have started the right front, and I am nearly at the point of starting the armhole shaping. So that is coming really well, and who knows, I might get this finished by the end of January. I would really like to. I am knitting it. I am knitting it in Stylecraft Special Chunky in the colour purple. Shade number is 1840, and the shade name is just simply purple. So it is knitting up beautifully. I'm on my 4th ball of yarn, but I've only just started the 4th ball, so I don't know if it will go into the 5th ball or not. Maybe, maybe not, because I've literally only just started the 4th ball. Oh yeah, literally. That's where the remnants of the 3rd ball. So I may not need all 5 balls, I may not go into the 5th ball, but the fronts are quite long, and then there is ribbing to do around each armhole, and then there is the button band. So I suspect it will go into the 5th ball, but maybe only a small amount. We shall see. But that's coming on really well. Hope to get that finished this month. As I say, it's the 20th, so I've got 11 days. Maybe it will get finished, but it may be into February. So let's put all of this away. I'm knitting the middle size for this. and it's knitted on, I think, 5 and 6mm needles. Yeah, the main body is 6mm needles, the ribbing's 5mm needles. And Bert is still going with his tube over there. I'm sorry, my hair is all falling out. Look at that. And my shawl's coming off my shoulders. Just a mess today. This is the lovely shawl that my daughter made for me for Christmas. Okay, let us put that away. Right, I'll just sort my hair out. Hang on a minute. Better? Maybe. Alright, so the last whip I'm going to show you is something that I have been working on since Christmas Eve. It was my first cast on of the 12 cast ons of Christmas, and it is the Mystical Lanterns blanket by Janie Crow. So this is a crochet project, and I'm using it as a stash buster. I took all the yarn out of a massive box of stash acrylic that I'd got in the garage. Went through, picked out some full balls, some nearly full balls, some part balls. I've also added a little bit more to it as well when I was having a bit of a tidy out of my stash last week, and I was trying to find different project bags. I came across the yarn that I had used, the leftovers from a blanket I made last year, so I put a few of those leftovers into this as well. So you make strips and join them together, and each strip needs to be 11, well, you need to do so many that have got 11 lanterns, and then so many that have got like 10 lanterns in them, 10 and 2 halves. I've done, so when I had finished working on this on Christmas Eve, I had done 8 lanterns, and I've carried on making these lanterns because I've just loved doing them, and I've been aiming to do at least one a day. So here was the first strip, and it's got the progress keeper. So here's the first strip, and then I have 2 more completed strips, and they'll tessellate together. Get me with my fancy words, tessellation. They'll tessellate together like this. So we have another strip here. I did start off doing really well as well at weaving in all the ends. Ooh, I think this one I have weaved in all the ends, yes. So here's another one, another full strip. And then I have got the strips that I'm working on now. How many have we got in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So I'm only 2 more lanterns away from having a 4th strip finished. That's pretty good. That will be 44 of the lanterns done, and I think it's only 158 that I've got to do in total. I need to double check that on the pattern. I need to double check that. But yeah, so if I've done, well, let's say I've done 42, you know, I am nearly a third of the way through this. Wow. Right, well, we'll keep working on it. We will keep working on it. As I say, I'm trying to do at least one a day. Some days I manage to get 2 done. So obviously to do one a day, I know I need to get 31 done in January, and I think I've done 22 so far, and we've still got 11 days. So I'm a tiny bit ahead, not by much I might, but let's keep going on it anyway, because I'm just going to keep working on this all the time that my mojo is on it, because we all know what blankets can be like. If you stop working on them, they can easily get forgotten. So absolutely loving this project. I might keep that one out because you attach each one at the end. I'm guessing though the making up of it, mind you, I think the making up is crocheted, and it's never so bad crocheting things together as it is sewing. I don't know why that seems the case, but it doesn't. So yes, we will keep working on this. As I say, I am really enjoying that project. So a lot of the leftovers of this is Stylecraft special DK, but not all. There was, I don't know, just some cheapy bonus Home Bargains, Aldi yarn. A lot of acrylic that I've bought in the past has been for maybe making either blankets or toys. That's what most of my acrylic yarn usually is from. So we will keep going with this. I did pick out colours that I thought would go well together. Even though there's, you know, quite a mixture of sort of shades and colours. I just think, oh, I'm just really enjoying this project. It's been so much fun, and I don't need to look at the pattern. I know exactly what I'm doing, so it's another reason why I want to keep going on it and not put it to one side. So that will be the blanket I will still carry on working. I'm hoping I'll carry on working on that in February and March, and who knows, I could have it finished March, April time. So those are the main things that I have been working on. I will keep focused on Ben's socks, get those done by the end of the week, and then hopefully the Stormseeker socks will get finished by the end of January. Keep going on the lanterns. I might pick up something else that I've already started as well. So I do know, having said about Kelly's make along, I do just need to say as well, I'm so excited. If you haven't seen, Kelly from Roro and Kate has released a fantastic, gorgeous new pattern called Dust of Frost socks. They are so beautiful, but even more special than that is she actually knitted them in some yarn that I dyed. And this is a bit of a long story, but we've both been connected to this yarn for a couple of years because it all came from a competition I held back in November of 2023 when I asked people to send in pictures to inspire me for a winter colourway. As it was, the winning picture had been sent by Kelly, and so I dyed up the yarn. She got a free skein of it from me as a prize for this competition. It then became one of my best sellers. I've re-dyed this one quite a few times, and she then designed a sock in it, and yeah, so she's just released that sock. So I have dyed up some more of the Frosted Berries sock set, and in fact, and I sent her one for her to give away. So the prize for the January Stormseeker knit along is actually going to be a set of the Frosted Berries yarn. And what was I going to say? Yes, so I will be knitting the new sock pattern, Dust of Frost, but not until now. She's going to put that to March. It's going to be although the pattern is released, it's not going to be part of the sock along until March. I'm going to use, I have got my leftovers from it because I've knitted another pair of socks, but I've still got 50 grams, so I'm going to use that. I don't have another mini in that colour, so it's possible I will dye up some more. If it sells out again in the next week or so, I may end up having to dye some more, in which case I'll make sure I dye myself an extra mini. If not, I'm going to use this, which is a leftover from Stephen West shawl I did last year, and use that as my contrast colour instead. So we shall see. So that's coming up soon as well. So yeah, the Frosted Berries is back, well, it is back in stock currently on the sparkle base. It sold out again on the luxury base a couple of days ago, and I didn't re-dye the luxury base, I just re-dyed the sparkle. So yes, before I give you the shop update, or the exciting stuff in the shop, I do have a gift to show you that I was given. I won this in a giveaway back in October, November time, beginning of November I think it was, and then due to the postal strikes in Canada and then the maker being ill, it took a while for it to arrive, but it has arrived, and it is this beautiful project bag. Look how cute it is. And what I loved about this was it's got books and socks and things like that on it, so for me that felt very much like my kind of thing. And the giveaway asked you to name what your favourite chocolate was, or favourite chocolate bar. And I said Reese's actually, and so, look, she sent me some Reese's as well. So that was just a lovely, lovely prize. It's a beautiful quality bag. I can't remember, I know the lady's name is Monique, but I can't remember her Instagram handle, so I will find it and put it on the screen below. She doesn't have a shop so much anymore. Oh, hang on, what's it say there? Blueberry Fields. Yeah, Blueberry Fields is what it says on her tag there. But I don't think she has an Etsy shop anymore, but I think she does make custom made, so people can request bags from her. It's got leather, actually, drawstring, which is quite different and unusual, like a leather sort of thong for the drawstring, so that's cool. It's just really lovely, isn't it? Really lovely. So thank you so much, Monique, for that. I'm really, really pleased with it, and it was worth waiting for. Right, okay, so now I'm going to give you the shop update. So I am just going to talk a little bit more about the shop. So if you're not interested in that, thank you so much for watching, and I hopefully will see you again in a couple of weeks. But I'd love it if you did stop, because I'm going to tell you some stuff actually that is not being made by me that's going into the shop. This has been made by my husband. So I've been saying the last few podcasts that things were going to change down in the office. Unfortunately, they didn't change quite how I wanted them to. My husband has now taken over the office completely with his new bit of kit. He has got, I don't know what you call it, a wood cutter laser engraver. I don't know what you call it. And he bought this for himself only a few weeks ago, and he is loving this. He's loving designing things, he's loving making them, and he's really keen on helping me with my business, and so has been making things, knitting accessories. So if you saw this is a prototype of one of his sock blockers, and you might recognise the little Likac flowers. So that's really pretty. That will be going into the shop. I'm recording this on the Sunday. I don't know that when we will be getting everything into the shop. I had planned to try and take some pictures today, but he's still working on a few things. So I don't know that the light will be fading soon as well, so I'm not sure quite. We have another design sock blocker he's done here with stars on. So those will be definitely going into the shop. So we've got stars and we've got flowers. And then he's also been working on some yarn spinner holders. Now, these again are still sort of in prototype form. So I took these to Knit Group and asked for my Knit Group friends to give us some feedback. So this is one with socks on the bottom and socks down the front. Now he has changed the design of this, so it's not going to have this heart shape at the top anymore. What I love about his design is he's designed them though so that they are flat on the bottom, because the ones that you get from Temu, and I'm going to say this now, there's an awful lot of people selling on Etsy, and this annoys me. So a lot of people selling these on Etsy that have just bought them from Temu and then are reselling them. And that annoys me, because Etsy is supposed to be where you make things yourself and sell it. And there are people like Denise from Dear Designs who makes her own ones of these and sells them, which is absolutely great. But there's so many people just reselling things. And I haven't got a problem necessarily with people reselling stuff from Temu. I don't have a problem with that. But don't put them on Etsy and claim that you have made them. That does annoy me. Anyway, what I was going to say though is, how my husband has designed this is so that they also then sit flat on the table. So it does come with a handle. So I took one to Knit Group and had my yarn on it, and then I put it on the table and used it like that, which was great. Husband and I have been debating whether you should have the design on the bottom or on the top, because I said, well, if you have it on the top you won't see it because of the yarn being on it. But I have noticed that a lot of the other designs seem to have it sat on top. So let me know what you think. Do you think we should? Well, I think he's going to try and do it now so that they're on both. But if you see what I mean, you wouldn't be able to see the design once you've got yarn on there, but you can underneath. So I think he said though that he was going to try and do on both sides. Let me see, I've got another one here that I absolutely adore. Oh, he's done some for me here again with flowers. This one at the moment is my favourite. Look at these. Aren't they adorable? As I say, these are all just the prototype ones. So once he's happy with the finished shape and things like that, and as I say, I think he'll redo this one with sheep going on both sides. I love those sheep. He's also done stitch markers. Now this really is where it is a joint effort, because he's been busy making the stitch markers and then I've been putting them onto the rings. So we've got this one, which has kind of got a skull with a rose on it. We have got, and again I suspect there's going to be lots of different designs, he's been very busy. This sock. The sheep, I haven't put a holder on this. We've got the sheep on just a plain disc, but he's also, I love this, absolutely adore this, on the sheep cut out as well. So I am going to be working on these. I'm going to be working on these with him, and we're going to get them put into sets and things like that, and they also will go into the Etsy shop. So please, if there's anything else, oh, he's working on some alpaca ones for me because I love alpacas. So please, if there's anything else that you think you would like to see as a design, then drop a comment drop a comment below of what other designs you think might be quite nice. He has done the Likac flower. He's done a yarn ball one, but he's got to redo that because it's coming out too faint at the moment. You can't really see that. So, oh, here's the Likac. Now, he's done loads of these Likac flowers. This was like the first thing he did. And there's quite a few that aren't where he was just testing it. So there's lots of those at the moment that I said to him, do you know what? Because he was like, oh, I'll have to throw those away. I said, don't throw them away. I'm just going to drop a tiny bit of cedar oil on them and pop them in with my yarn to keep, well, they're supposed to help keep the moths away. So yeah, so as I say, these are just prototypes. So look out for these though. I will, hopefully I'll pop on Instagram when they are available in the Etsy shop. But if there's any comments that you've got on these or anything that you think would make a cute design, then the sheep, I just love that one. Then yeah, just drop us a message down below and we'll see what else we can do. Right, so I think that is it from me for today. Thank you so much for watching, and yeah, please follow me on Instagram if you don't already, or go to our Etsy shop and favourite it, and then when those new products go live, I will let you know through Instagram, on Etsy, etc. Thanks so much for watching. Bye.